We are going to talk about subdivision today. Now, what subdivision is basically looking at what a note is made of. So each note that we play has a rhythmic value to it. And we call these whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, sixteenth notes, and then there are various different types in between there. But basically our whole note, half note, quarter note, and our eighth note are going to be our most common, and 16th note as well. And so we're going to just look at what those sound like, how we would count those, and so then how we can practice them. So the whole note's the easiest one that we can do. And I'm just on my sixth string, the E string, and I'm going to count whole notes. They're worth 4 beats, and I'm assuming we're in what's called 4/4 time. 4/4 time is just simply the most common time signature. Time signature tells us how many beats are going to be in each measure. And a measure is just a unit of a piece of music, a unit of time. So a whole note is worth 4 beats, and it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So with the whole note, the note rings out for the duration of the 4 beats. And so it's not like I go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not a whole note because I stopped the note. So the note for it to be a whole note has to ring for the duration of 4 beats. So here it is, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next subdivision is to take that whole note and split it in half. And so it would just simply be called a half note. Now, a half note is going to be worth 2 beats. Whole note's worth 4. We subdivide into a half note. It is going to be worth 2 beats. So a half note sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you'll notice I'm counting it not 1, 2, 1, 2, but 1, 2, 3, 4. And because we're still thinking of that time signature of 4/4, where there's 4 beats in a measure. So, half note again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you have a metronome, you want to set your metronome to somewhere in between 60 and 70, and just practice that while the metronome's clicking of going 1, 2, 3, 4 to get the half note down. The next subdivision is going to be a quarter note. And very simple, we're just going to count these. Each quarter note is worth 1 beat. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So a whole note has 4 quarter notes in it. A half note has 2 quarter notes in it. So when we have a measure in 4/4 time, there's going to be 4 quarter notes. And the way we count them is just 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the next subdivision is called an eighth note. And an eighth note is if you split the quarter note in half and you have 2 beats. So it's twice as fast as the quarter note. And we count them by putting an and after the number. So it would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you notice it's twice as fast. Now eighth notes are very common. It's a little bit trickier than playing the quarter note, because we're playing in between the 1, 2, 3, 4. So it sounds like this again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's an eighth note. Now if we divide that eighth note and we cut an eighth note in half, we're going to have 2 16th notes. If we took a quarter note and we divided it into fourths, we would have 4 16th notes. So it takes 4 16th notes to equal 1 quarter note. And here's how we count them. We're going to count them 1 E and A. So it's like this: 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. So that's our 16th notes. And you'll notice I'm alternating my pick. I'm going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, because it's twice as fast. So now the 16th note's the one you really want to work with. If I had a metronome going, I would just simply go like this, and counting it is so important at first. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and so whole note is worth 4 beats. Half note is cutting a whole note in half. You've got 2 half notes then. They're each worth 2 beats. You got a quarter note. So if we cut a whole note into quarters, we would have the quarter notes. They're each worth 1 beat. Split that quarter note in half. We have 2 eighth notes. An eighth note is worth half of a quarter note. And so it's twice as fast as the quarter note. We count that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 16th note. That's when we divide that quarter or that eighth note in half. So it would take 4 16th notes to equal 1 quarter note, and we count these like this: 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a. That is your introduction to just basic subdivision. You want to practice those with a metronome. Now, the whole notes can be kind of boring, seem like they take a long time and are maybe even pointless, but what can be fun is where you start to alternate the different divisions. So, for instance, if I just went like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth, where you just start off with that whole note, move to the half note, move to the quarter note, move to the eighth note, move to the 16th note, and just keep doing that over and over again until you start to really feel that beat and you can count it comfortably. There is an introduction to subdivisions. I hope that helps.